Reaching the age of 80 nudges your body into a hushed yet far-reaching recalibration that rarely finds its way into casual conversation. Your senses begin to dim like lanterns in a soft dawn, while your skin stitches itself together with a leisurely, almost meditative delay. Sleep patterns tilt into unfamiliar currents, carrying you along whether you consent or not. Meanwhile, your muscles retreat with the patience of a receding tide, and your mind, ever resourceful, subtly rearranges itself to endure this late season of life. Yet, there is a pivotal nuance worth pausing on. The subtle realignment of your sleep clock, if left unattended, can quietly ripple into memory and overall brain vitality. Walk with us as we unpack these 5 transformations, grounded in scientific insight, and reveal gentle, practical ways to steer through them with poise and clarity. After passing 80, growing older ceases to be a gentle, even progression, and instead resembles a trail that suddenly grows sharper and more arduous. Before this point, shifts in the body may feel unhurried and subtle. But beyond it, your physiology enters a distinct biological reshaping. Certain cellular mechanisms quicken with surprising urgency, while others decelerate to a near standstill. It is much like your body recalibrating itself for a different chapter, favoring preservation, resilience, and economy, rather than the exuberance of youth. From a scientific lens, this quickening of aging links to forces like accelerated telomere erosion, the tiny chromosomal shields that fray with time, and the slow accumulation of microscopic cellular wear from decades of existence. Low-grade inflammation becomes a persistent companion, and hormonal currents begin to shift. Yet this transformation is not purely detrimental. Some alterations act as quiet safeguards, enabling the body to ration its energy more carefully. Still, when neglected, other shifts can hasten physical decline. The reassuring truth is that awareness grants us the ability to make modest, meaningful adjustments that nurture long-term well-being. With that foundation in place, we turn now to the first of these 5 transformations, the way our senses of taste and smell subtly yet unmistakably change after 80. Change. Number 1. Taste and smell. Fade. We start with 2 senses woven into nearly every moment of daily life: taste and smell. Once you cross 80, these faculties tend to soften and recede, like colors slowly losing their vibrancy. This isn't merely about food becoming less pleasurable. The quiet fading of these senses can ripple into appetite, nourishment, and overall vitality in ways many people never anticipate. This happens because the minute taste receptors on your tongue gradually diminish and renew themselves with less vigor. In tandem, the scent-detecting cells in your nasal passages decrease in both number and sharpness. This is a natural consequence of aging, shaped by slower cellular renewal and subtle shifts in the nervous system. The result? Flavors may feel dulled, and once rich aromas can seem distant or faint. When taste and smell weaken, appetite often follows. Food may feel less enticing, which can lead to eating too little and, over time, cause unwanted weight loss or nutritional gaps, neither of which support strength or resilience in later years. Fortunately, adaptation doesn't have to be harsh. Rather than piling on salt, which can strain the heart, you can elevate meals with fresh, fragrant ingredients. A sprig of rosemary, a handful of basil, or a bright splash of lemon can restore liveliness to your plate without overwhelming your senses. Opt for foods that are vivid, fragrant, and inviting: plump berries, lightly charred vegetables, or a steaming bowl of soup, since their colors and aromas can rekindle curiosity and appetite. Whenever you can, sit down to eat with others. The simple act of sharing a table often deepens enjoyment and nudges you to eat more consistently. These modest adjustments help safeguard nourishment while preserving the joy of a good meal. As we shift toward the next transformation, turn your attention to the body's outer shield, your skin. and how its own changes reshape the way you recover and heal. Change number 2. Slow wound. Healing. Turning to the body's repair system, healing becomes markedly more languid after 80. This isn't a matter of becoming more accident-prone. Rather, it reflects a deeper biological recalibration in how your body mends itself when injury occurs. As years accumulate, skin grows more delicate because collagen and elastin, its structural scaffolding, steadily recede. Circulation to the surface wanes as blood vessels narrow, and the immune system responds with greater deliberation. This is why bruises bloom more readily and linger like slow-fading shadows, while small nicks or abrasions take their time knitting back together. In practical terms, this gentler repair process can heighten the risk of infection if wounds are neglected or lead to pressure sores during long stretches of sitting or lying still. What once healed in a day or two may now require weeks, a delay that can feel both inconvenient and disheartening. Yet, there are sensible ways to bolster recovery. Nurture your skin with daily, mild moisturizers to preserve its protective barrier. Parched skin is far more susceptible to cracking and tearing. Support your body by prioritizing steady protein from simple foods such as eggs, creamy yogurt, or a handful of nuts. These are the quiet building blocks of tissue renewal. Sip water consistently rather than gulping it all at once, because even mild dehydration can stall recovery. Pair this with light, deliberate movement, unhurried walks or gentle arm rotations to encourage blood flow without overtaxing your body. Together, these habits help your natural repair systems function with greater efficiency. With that in mind, we now move to a transformation that often slips under the radar yet carries deep consequences. The quiet resetting of your sleep clock. Change number 3, sleep clock shift. Among all the transformations that arrive after 80, the quiet drift of your sleep clock warrants particular focus, because its effects ripple far beyond the bedroom. Your circadian rhythm, the body's inner timekeeper, gradually tilts toward an earlier schedule. You may find drowsiness settling in before sunset, and wakefulness arriving with the first pale streaks of morning, even when you attempt to resist the shift. Meanwhile, the deepest layers of sleep grow thinner, reducing the time your body spends in its most restorative, repair-driven state. Just as crucial is what happens inside your brain at night. Its internal cleansing mechanism, called the glymphatic system, loses some of its efficiency. During deep sleep, this network sweeps away metabolic debris, including proteins associated with memory decline. When that process falters, it may contribute to lapses in recall or increase vulnerability to conditions such as dementia, though this is shaped by many intertwined factors, not sleep alone. This shift is frequently dismissed as a simple byproduct of age, quietly slipping through the cracks of routine care, yet giving it proper attention can meaningfully reshape daily life. Begin by courting the morning sun, step outdoors, or at least linger near a bright window shortly after waking, allowing natural light to gently recalibrate your internal clock. Keep your body moving with unhurried purpose throughout the day. Simple household tasks or leisurely walks help steady your internal energy rhythm. If you nap, make it brief. Lingering daytime sleep can unsettle your nights, while a quick 20 to 30-minute rest is usually harmless. Anchor your evenings with a predictable bedtime, and soften your surroundings as dusk falls by dimming screens or switching to warm amber lighting. These small, deliberate habits nurture deeper, more restorative sleep and protect that essential nocturnal upkeep your brain depends on. As we move to the next transformation, you'll see how closely it intertwines with this. 1. Because strong, resilient muscles also lean heavily on quality rest. Change number 4. Muscle breakdown, sarcopenia. We now arrive at sarcopenia, the gradual unraveling of muscle mass and strength, which intensifies once you pass 80. Rather than a sudden collapse, this is a quiet, cumulative thinning of your body's power, as fibers that once propelled you forward slowly lose their density and vigor with the passage of time. Even for those who have remained active, muscle tissue begins to erode more swiftly than it can regenerate, shaped by shifting hormones, weaker protein production, and sluggish cellular repair. This slow dwindling of strength quietly unsettles balance and coordination, making falls more likely and everyday movements less assured. Yet, this universal drift does not sentence you to immobility. Gentle resistance work can preserve much of what remains. Simple chair-based lifts with water bottles, or slow, controlled pulls with resistance bands, keep your arms and legs engaged without strain while helping your body hold on to its hard-won strength. Weave in approachable protein sources, creamy Greek yogurt, tender lean chicken, or hearty beans across your meals rather than clustering them all at once. Pair this with steady, supported movement. A daily walk with a walker, cane, or a nearby railing can steadily build stamina while keeping you secure. Together, these practices help temper muscle loss and safeguard your independence. With that in place, we now turn inward to examine how the brain itself reshapes and adapts during this later season of life. Change number 5. Brain rewires for survival. The final transformation centers on the brain's quiet recalibration as it begins to reorganize itself around preservation rather than performance. In this stage, your mind subtly rearranges its priorities, favoring intuition, emotional steadiness, and survival-minded efficiency over the sharp speed and novelty-seeking of earlier years. An intricate, compelling shift that reveals how deeply adaptable the human brain truly is. Beyond 80, the mind subtly tilts towards steadiness and emotional harmony rather than rapid-fire cognition. Thoughts may move at a gentler cadence, yet emotional mastery often deepens, cultivating a broader, more reflective sense of wisdom. Your attention gravitates toward relationships that truly matter, while your response to stress softens, forging a quieter, sturdier resilience within. Certain lapses in memory, like pausing to retrieve a name or detail, are a natural part of this stage, but this mental reshaping is not merely decline. In many ways, it is a protective adaptation, allowing the brain to ration its energy with discernment and preserve its strength for what truly counts. Overall, it's a shift toward depth over speed, allowing for richer life experiences. In closing, these 5 transformations, subtler taste and smell, slower skin repair, a drifting sleep clock, gradual muscle thinning, and the brain's survival-minded recalibration, are common companions after crossing 80. They are not shortcomings or missteps, but intrinsic biological evolutions woven into the aging process. Some, like the brain's lean toward emotional steadiness, serve as quiet guardians of mental balance. Others, particularly the shift in sleep patterns, require mindful care, so they do not hasten decline. By recognizing and adapting to these changes, older adults can better preserve independence, lower their risk of falls, safeguard cognitive vitality, and move through later life with greater confidence and dignity. If these insights resonated with you, consider sharing them with someone you value. And for more thoughtful, evidence-based perspectives on aging, remain with us.